Welcome to our Homestead Kitchen at Healthy Homestead Living and our Preserving the Harvest Academy. We are going to dehydrate apples today. Apples being such a super easy and fun thing to dehydrate, and they rehydrate really well if you want to make things like apple pie and apple crisp. Dehydrating apples is super fast and easy. Basically, all you're going to do is peel and slice the apples, add a little lemon juice or citric acid to make sure that they don't turn brown on us, and then lay them out on our dehydrator trays. Today on this demonstration though, I'm going to add a little extra twist for some super yummy flavor, because these I want to have as a snack for my daughter in her healthy lunches that she takes to school. So what we want to do is, in addition to just the apples, I'm going to add some vanilla, a little butter rum stevia, and some pumpkin pie spice to give it that extra yumminess. So let's jump on into the recipe. Starting out, we want to peel and slice our apples. I like to use a peeler, slicer, corer simply because it makes my life so much easier. Now you can just use a vegetable peeler or a knife, whatever is easiest for you and that you have on hand. This tool makes it super convenient. Select our apple and we'll slice and core it. There's our apple. Now the peelings and the cores we want to save, because I'm going to use this to make apple cider vinegar. So I'll set that aside. Then we will slice this in half and put it into the bowl. As we're slicing our apples, we want to make sure we're slowing down that enzymatic action so they don't turn brown. In this bottle, I've mixed together a couple tablespoons of lemon juice with about 2 cups of water. That way we can spray this on our apples, mix it up real nicely, and that will have just enough of an acidity from the lemon juice to keep the apples from turning very brown. Then we can add our flavoring to this. I'm going to add a dash of vanilla because I love vanilla, and I think vanilla flavor adds a little something to just about any yummy treat. We're also going to add some butter rum stevia. Stevia, you can use plain stevia. I like the butter rum because it gives it just a little bit of a caramely flavor. Now, if you have apples that are super sweet, you don't need to use as much. If they're tart apples like these are, we're gonna add just a little bit extra. Stevia is very potent. It's even more potent than sugar, so a little dabble will definitely do ya. Then we can add cinnamon. In this case, I'm adding pumpkin pie spice. Now the difference between pumpkin pie spice and just plain cinnamon is it has the additional flavors of allspice and nutmeg, which I think just makes this taste even so much better. We're gonna sprinkle that in there. And now the fun part, we get our hands in there and mix it all up. This smells so yummy. Cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, vanilla, a little butter rum. Can't get much better than that. Now I just mix it around until each slice is nicely coated. Now, if you're filling your dehydrator with a big batch of apples, obviously you're going to do this on a much larger scale. If you just have a few apples, you can do a small batch. Just do whatever the amount of apples you have and the time that you have to do it. The great thing about a dehydrator is you don't necessarily have to do a huge load every time. And we can actually mix and match and add other fruits on separate trays. And that looks about perfect. So now I'm gonna go wash my hands one more time and we'll lay these on the dehydrator trays and get them in the machine. You can put these apples right onto your dehydrator tray. I like to use the insert that comes with the trays because these make it so much easier to get the apples off when they're dry. It gives us some flexibility that we can bend and pull the apples off. So I always add my insert. Then we simply take our apples and lay them across the trays. It's okay if they're really close together. We don't want them overlapping, but we do want to have them filling the trays so that I'm maximizing the space that I have. And it goes pretty fast. This is a really good job to let your kids do. So they have a lot of fun with this, especially when you say it is perfectly acceptable to snitch a few bites while we are working. My daughter really enjoys helping me with the dehydrating. She loves laying the vegetables and the fruits out on the trays like this. And she's at that age right now too that she's really enjoying that she's starting to use the knife more. And so I let her do some cutting and mixing with her hands on this. And just like with anything, when kids help with the recipe, they are much more likely to eat whatever is prepared. So anytime you can get kids involved, whether it's kids or grandkids or neighbor kids, it's so much more fun to be able to have them work on this with us. Plus it goes faster. Now we are going to take this tray, pop it over into the dehydrator. We'll fill the rest of the trays, and then we'll turn the unit on at 135 degrees for about 8 to 10 hours.